Hi friends, welcome to day one of the 10-day yoga challenge. So today we're going to talk a little bit about what yoga is. So yoga technically means to yoke, and the idea is that you're yoking your mind, body, and spirit. So this is a spiritual practice, and that's actually a common misconception. People think that it is just a physical practice, but it is so much more than that. We'll get into more of the spiritual aspects and the philosophy as we move through the 10 days. We'll be moving through the 8 limbs for those of you who already know what that is. If not, we'll talk about it tomorrow. And we'll be talking about all of that along the way. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about some common misconceptions about yoga and clear them up. Some people who do know that there's a spiritual component consider yoga a religion. Yoga is not a religion. You can have any religion, pretty much, and still practice yoga. The idea is that whatever your higher power is, whatever your religion is, this yoga practice, this spiritual practice helps you grow in that. So it is very personal. It is unique to you and your life and your beliefs. So everyone's practice will look a little bit different. Another misconception about yoga is that you need to be flexible to do it. That is not true. Anyone can do yoga. Anybody can do yoga. Another big misconception that I've seen is that you need to be thin to do yoga or young or that it's for a certain body type, and that is not true. I can't tell you how many times I've had people tell me that they've gone into a yoga studio and felt shamed or unwelcome because they are living in a bigger body. And that makes me so sad because yoga is for everyone, everybody can benefit from yoga. The physical practice of yoga, so these yoga poses, these exercises really should be catered to the individual. So instead of feeling like when you go to a class that you have to do the poses exactly like the teacher's doing or the people around you, yes, there are safety issues and yes, there are certain things that we do try to do in class, but no, your practice does not have to look like theirs. Everyone's is different. It should be catered to you and what your body needs. Thank you so much. Speaking of the physical practice, let's go ahead and get on the mat and get moving.
Hi friends, go ahead and grab your blocks if you have them and set them to the side. Today we'll be doing a bit of yin and a little bit of gentle flow. Yin poses are held for a few minutes, so it might take a little bit of adjusting to get used to this. We'll start out lying down on the floor, and you'll actually just reach your legs long on the mat and reach your arms up overhead. You can walk your feet over to the right side, and then maybe you walk your hands up over to the right side as well. Now, if your hands don't reach the floor in this pose, you can put them on a block or a pillow or something to elevate them up a little bit. You might even cross your left ankle over your right, and you're just creating a C shape with your body. We'll be here for a couple of minutes, so make sure that you can get into a pose that is comfortable, where you're feeling a little bit of a stretch, maybe a 4 out of 10, not anything too intense. And then just breathe here. It can feel a little bit weird to hold these poses for a long time if you're not used to it, but begin to just bring a lot of awareness to your breath, the sensations you're feeling in your body, and turn inward and just relax into this pose. I'll let you know when it's time to come out of it. ever so gently begin to ease out of this pose. You can let your arms come down by your side, uncross your ankles, hug your knees into your chest, and give them a squeeze. Begin to make some circles with your knees, going clockwise a couple of times, and then maybe counterclockwise as well a couple of times. After a bit of movement here, if you'd like to take another counter pose, you can plant your feet into the mat and begin to send your hips up for bridge pose. Take a few breaths here, and when you're ready, you can come out of this. We'll make our way into the other side, so begin to walk your feet over to the left this time, and you'll cross your right ankle over your left, and then reach your arms up overhead and create the same shape that you created on the other side. So you might prop your hands up with a block or a pillow if you did that on the other side, and create this banana shape or C shape on the left side as well. You might feel some sensation creeping up in the left side here, very slowly. Remember to keep it gentle, to not force anything here, and to hold some ease in this pose. Gently begin to ease out of this pose. Let your arms come down by your side, uncross your ankles, and again, hug your knees into your chest. Make the small circles if it feels good for you, or just hold some stillness, hugging your knees into your chest. You may feel some rebound effect from the areas that were being stretched, and just soak up that good feeling. Feel free to take a bridge pose here if you would like to, pushing your feet into the mat, lifting your hips up. And then make your way back to the mat, neutral spine. Send your feet up overhead or over your hips, per se, for waterfall. And then flex your right foot, slowly lower it down, point, lift it back up. Do that a few more times. Flex to lower, point to lift. Flex to lower, point to lift. Switch to the left side. Flex to lower, point to lift. Flex to lower, point to lift. Flex to lower, point to lift. And now try it with both legs. You'll really have to engage your core for this. Flex to lower, point to lift. Make sure your lower back is staying on the ground. Really engaging your lower core. And point to lift. All right. Plant your feet on the mat, roll to one side and make your way up to a seat. Come to Sukhasana, crossing your legs, or if you have another seat that's comfortable, then that's fine too. Take a really deep breath, let your shoulders rest down. Do that a few more times. Deep breath in and exhale. Now sit on your left hand. So this is optional. You can either sit on your left hand or plant your left hand beside you, and you'll tilt your right ear towards your right shoulder. So you're getting a stretch through the left side of your neck. You can use your right hand to gently pull yourself to the side. You'll reach and grab either the top of your ear or the space right above your ear, and gently pull it to the side. You're not pushing down or adding a lot of pressure here. It's very gentle. Bring your attention back to your breath. Release your hand and, keeping your head tilted to the side, begin to tilt your chin upwards so you're looking up, and it moves the stretch to a different part of your neck. You'll probably feel this more along the scalene muscles. This is really good if you have TMJ. And again, sitting on the hand here is optional. It can intensify the stretch if you need it, but if it's hurting or feeling intense, try this without sitting on your left hand. Begin to tilt your head down. You're looking down now, and the stretch will move to the back of your neck. You're still tilting your head a little bit to the right side. And release your hand. We'll try this on the other side. Sit on your right hand this time. Your left ear will drop towards your left shoulder. And you can reach your left arm up overhead and grab the top of your ear, or maybe just the space above your ear, and gently pull it to the side. Again, sitting on your hand and reaching for your ear are totally optional and just intensify the stretch. Release your hand, begin to tilt your chin up and look up, moving the stretch towards the front of the neck. Release your jaw here, so if you're clenching your teeth, just release it a little bit. Begin to look downwards, keeping your head tilted to the left side. You may feel this along your upper back and the back of your neck. And release. Shake out your hands. Reach your left arm up overhead, plant your right hand, and then switch side to side. You can go through this as slowly or as quickly as you like, just making big reaches, stretching the shoulders, the arms, warming everything up very gently. Move with your breath here. Inhale as you sweep your arms, exhale, plant your hands. Now roll over to your hands and knees. Find your tabletop position. Shoulders over wrists, knees are underneath your hips. And begin to find cat-cow. So as you inhale, you'll drop your belly, gaze forward. Exhale, really curve your spine. Inhale, belly drops, tailbone lifts. Exhale, curving in, really push into the floor. Inhale into your cow pose. Exhale into a scared cat position. Move with your breath here. Exhale, squeeze everything out into your cat. Inhale, send your heart forward, inhale. And then send your hips back, big toes come to touch, widen your knees, find your child's pose. Child's pose is a great resting posture, and if at any point throughout the practice you're feeling tired or out of breath, or the pose isn't working for your body, you can always come back to this pose or any other pose that you find comfortable. The most important thing is that you pay attention to how your body feels and that you're not pushing yourself to do things that aren't right for your body. Come back up to tabletop when you're ready, and then tuck your toes and find downward facing dog. Begin to pedal your feet out here, bending one knee and then the other, really moving your legs, really working into them. And then let your heels reach towards the back of the mat. They don't have to touch. Roll forward to a plank pose, and then send your hips right back up to down dog. So you may have moved your hands here, and actually plank pose and down dog are the same length. Roll forward to your plank pose again, and then hug your elbows into your ribs, lower all the way down. You can always drop your knees for this. Lift your heart up for a little baby cobra, and then lower back down. Push through your tabletop position. Widen your knees, send your hips back, find your child's pose again. Breathe here. Come back up to your tabletop when you're ready. Tuck your toes, find downward dog. Lift your right heel up and back, and then open up your hip. Right heel will come towards your right glute. Keep pushing into both hands equally, even though you're opening your hip. Three-legged dog, and then step your right foot forward between your hands. Lower your left knee to the mat. Arms will come up overhead, palms facing each other. Keep pushing into your right foot and letting your hips soften forward. Frame your front foot, tuck your back toe, left knee will come up off the mat, and then peel open your right fingertips for a twist. And you can bring a block underneath your left hand like I did if that feels better for you. Move your blocks off to the side and then parallel your feet and turn to the side. So you'll be facing the side of your mat in a wide-legged forward fold, and you can fold in here. Grab the blocks that you set off to the side, and you can bring your hands to these blocks and then begin bending your knees. I call this skating. So you're just going to bend one knee and then the other in your forward fold, kind of feeling the stretch change from side to side. If it feels better for you to just fold straight forward, feel free to do that, and you can grab your ankles, your calves, whatever feels good here. Move your blocks once again and just fold in the center, release. Put a slight bend in your right knee and then peel your right hand up to the side and take a twist. So you're in this forward fold, opening up to the right side. Fold back in, bring your hands to your hips and bend your knees, slowly roll all the way up. Pivot your right foot to the side, come to a warrior two. Arms are wide, deep bend in your right knee. Press your shoulders down. Your heels are in line with each other here. Flip your right palm up, reach up and back to a peaceful warrior. Left hand can come to your left leg. And then windmill your arms down to frame your front foot, spin to the ball of your back foot, and step back to a plank position. You always have your option to drop your knees here, but hug your elbows in, lower down. Let your heart lift, come to a little baby cobra or a full cobra if you're ready to lift up a little higher. Lower down, come through your tabletop, widen your knees, toes come to touch, find a child's pose here. Return to your breath here. Come through your tabletop, grab your blocks and move them to the front of your mat so you'll have them for later. Tuck your toes, find down dog. Lift your left leg up and back, open up your hip, push into both hands equally, maybe make some small circles, find your three-legged dog, and then step forward, coming to your low lunge. Right knee will drop to the mat. And once again, soften your hips forward, but keep pushing into your left foot. Grab a block if you'd like it. Right hand can come to the block and peel your left fingertips up for a twist. And your back knee can come up off the mat for this if you'd like. Grab your blocks, take them with you as you turn to the right side. Parallel your feet, come to this wide-legged forward fold, and once again you can skate, bending one knee and then the other, going side to side, or if you prefer to just fold in and keep both legs pretty straight, that's good too. Move your blocks off to the side and fold all the way in, maybe reaching for your ankles, calves, big toes, whatever you can grab onto. Just shift your weight forward to the balls of your feet. Bring your hands up underneath you, bend your left knee, left fingertips will peel up, twisting to the left side. Hands come to your hips, lift all the way up, left toes will pivot to the side. Warrior two, bend your left knee, arms are wide, heels in line with each other. Grow tall as you press your shoulders down. And then take an inhale as you flip your left palm up, reach up and back for peaceful warrior, right hand to your right leg. Exhale, windmill your arms down to frame your front foot. Spin the ball of your back foot and step back to plank pose and lower down, hugging your elbows into your ribs. You can always drop your knees for this. Inhale up to a cobra position, shoulders pressed down and back. And then come through your tabletop position, widen your knees, big toes come to touch, and take a child's pose. Forehead can come down to the earth. Take a few breaths here. Inhale up to a tabletop position, shoulders over your wrists, hips are over your knees. Reach your left fingertips out to the side and thread your left arm underneath your right shoulder, palm face up. You can reach your right arm forward, extending your arm, or wrap your right arm around your lower back, palm face out. This is called thread the needle. Slide your right hand back under your shoulder, begin to unwind, left arm will reach out to the side, and then plant your left hand, move to the other side. Right arm will reach out to the side, and then thread your right arm under your left shoulder. Left arm can reach forward or around your back, just try to match what you did on the other side. Draw your left hand back under your left shoulder, unwind, right arm will reach out and up, and then plant both hands under your shoulder and walk your hands forward for puppy pose. Your forehead can come to the earth here, and if it feels really intense, grab a block and put it underneath your forehead to elevate the floor up to you. Sometimes this is called heart melting pose, so you could even envision your heart melting towards the earth as you rest down into this pose. walk your hands back. So you're coming back to your tabletop position. And then come to a seat on your mat. Legs will come wide. Grab your blocks if you want them. And you can bring your forearms to your blocks. We're coming to a wide-legged forward fold, sometimes called dragonfly. So you might bring your forehead to a block, rest your forearms on blocks, or you can just have your hands on the mat or your forearms on the mat. But you're just folding straight between your legs. When I'm in this pose, I like to think about lengthening my spine as I breathe in, and then as you exhale, it's nice to just release and let go. Sometimes you'll create a little bit more space to fall that way. On your next inhale, slowly walk your hands up, come up to a tall spine, and plant your hands behind your hips. You can use your hands to help lift your knees, and then windshield wipe your knees a little bit side to side. Bring the sole of your right foot to your left inner thigh. Arms can reach up overhead, and then turn to your left foot and fold forward. So your leg that is long, you're folding towards that leg. Sometimes this is called half butterfly. The Sanskrit term is Janu Shirsasana. Your forehead can come to a block here, or you can just fold in without any support and just have your hands on the mat. Begin to walk your hands up to a tall spine. Plant your right hand behind your right hip, push into your right hand and your right shin, and lift up for Stargazer. Hips can even come up off the mat. Left fingertips reach up and back, and then sit back down. Extend your right leg long, sole of the left foot to your right inner thigh. Turn to your right leg and fold. Same thing on the other side. Lift up slowly. Plant your left hand behind your hip. Push into your left hand, your left shin. Right fingertips reach up and back for Stargazer. And then when you're ready, you can sit back down. Turn long ways on your mat. Extend both legs out in front of you. Reach your arms up overhead and fold straight forward for Paschimottanasana. Now you don't have to reach for your feet when you fold in this pose. You can have a gentle bend in your knees and wrap your arms underneath them. You can just let your hands rest on the ground. It doesn't have to look exactly one way as long as you are respecting your body. Inhale and lift up slowly. and make your way to your back. Once you're on your back, hug your right knee into your chest and then send it over to the left side for a supine twist. And you can always grab a block and put it up under your right knee for support, or just let it hang out. Your right arm can come out to the side, and your left arm can either be on your right knee or out to the side as well. But gaze over your right shoulder so you're carrying the twist all the way up through your cervical spine. Gently begin to release. Come back to a neutral spine, stepping both feet to the mat. Move your block over to the other side, and then hug your left knee in. Move it over to the right and support it with the block if you did that on the other side. Left arm out to the side, gaze over your left shoulder. Begin to step back to a neutral spine. Hug your knees into your chest, give them a squeeze. And then if you'd like, you can take it into happy baby, reaching for the outside edges of your feet and kicking into your hands, and rock side to side. If that doesn't feel good for you, you can just keep hugging your knees into your chest as well. Really root down through your lower back here. Hug your knees back into your chest. Let your feet find the mat. Pause here. And then extend your legs long. We'll move it to Shavasana. And if you're new to yoga, it can be very tempting to skip this because you're just laying there and it feels like, why am I doing this? But it is really important and very much worth it. So I challenge you to try it, at least for today. Just let all of your muscles be heavy into the mat. Close your eyes, give yourself this time to relax, and I'll let you know when it's time to come out of it. Begin to deepen your breath. Bring awareness back to your body. You might even start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Shake your head side to side gently. You can reach your arms up overhead and take a nice long stretch. And when you're ready, step your feet to the mat one at a time. Roll over to your right side, curl up into a fetal position. And then eventually push your way up to a seat and we'll meet in Sukhasana. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed your practice.